By this point, some of you are tired just listening. Not because this is heavy, but because you've been carrying this for years. Exhaustion isn't failure. It's a signal that something is being carried the wrong way. Every attempt you've made started with more effort, more control, more pressure, more rules. And none of it ever gave you rest. It might have given you short-term control, but never deep, abiding rest. Rest isn't the absence of work, it's the presence of peace in the work. It's the difference between carrying a weight with strained, shaking arms and carrying it on a strong, fitted frame that bears the load for you. There is a voice in the middle of all this striving that doesn't ask you to try harder. It doesn't demand discipline first. It doesn't start with correction. It starts with invitation. An invitation to rest. Not rest as escape, not rest as giving up. Rest as the moment you stop trying to be your own source of strength. Rest as transferring the burden of your transformation to someone who can actually carry it. This is what Jesus was speaking to. Not to people who were careless, but to people who were exhausted from carrying themselves. People who were weary, burdened, tired of the loop. He didn't call the strong, he called the weary. Not to shame them, but to relieve them. His first move was not a command, it was an offer. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The offer is not for the perfect, it's for the tired. The prerequisite is not cleanliness, it's exhaustion. You don't have to fix yourself to come. You come because you can't fix yourself. This is where the concept of new starts to mean something real. New doesn't mean the past never happened. It doesn't mean temptation disappears. It doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. It doesn't mean you'll never feel the pull of old patterns again. New means you are no longer fighting from the same place. You're no longer alone in the struggle. Your identity is no longer tied to your performance in the struggle. And your future no longer depends on how stable you feel emotionally today. New means the source of your strength has changed. The location of your authority has shifted. You are no longer the general of a war you're losing. You're a soldier in a war that's already been won. A life under guidance behaves differently than a life under pressure. The pressure says, you must do this or you fail. The guidance says, follow me and you won't be walking this alone. The pressure comes from inside you and it's finite. The guidance comes from outside you and it's limitless. The difference going forward isn't effort, it's source. Who carries the weight of your life? Who holds the authority over your decisions? Who you report to? Who you surrender to? Surrender here isn't weakness, it's the ultimate intelligence. It's admitting that self-sourcing has led to self-distrust and choosing to be sourced by something, by someone, that will not fail. What you're facing isn't rare, it's human. And you're not the only one who's been here. You don't have to figure this out in isolation anymore. The very act of realizing you can't do it alone is the beginning of the solution. It's the crack in the wall of your self-sufficiency where the light gets in. The way forward doesn't start with fixing everything. It starts with stopping the fight you were never meant to fight alone. It starts with a quiet, internal shift from I have to beat this to I can't beat this, but I know who can. It starts with a simple, honest turning, not a dramatic altar call, a whisper in your room, a thought in your car. I can't, but you can. I'm tired. You promised rest. That's the starting point. Not a promise of perfection, but a transfer of trust from your own broken record of promises to a promise that was made to you a long time ago. a promise that doesn't depend on your ability to keep it. There is a way forward, and it doesn't depend on how strong you feel today. It depends on recognizing that you were never meant to be the source of your own strength in the first place.